first words that come to mind to describe this one?
Wild. I thought, it was some wild plays both ways, but there's a lot of talent out there. So, both coaches, everyone wants to check, but at the end of the day, there's a lot of talent out there, both ways.
Describe the overtime winner and the overtime winner-getter.
Well, let's be clear. We don't want Timmy fighting ever. He gets in a fight. He comes back, does what he does. We've got a real hockey player on our hands.
A game that's back and forth, as you just said, but 21, 13, and 16 seem to be a favorite line of yours tonight.
Yeah, for sure. I thought Paulie was the best player on the ice for us. There's very few people in the world that can skate with McDavid, especially a forward backwards, and he did in overtime. Draisaitl when he had to, killed penalties, scored. I don't know what else he's got to do tonight, but he's playing with confidence and he's given us a chance.
For you, DJ, is it you don't want Tim fighting at any point, or is it a tie hockey game with 10 minutes left?
No, it's Tim. He's a guy that's going to be a real good player for a long time. We don't need him fighting ever. If he has to stick up for himself and he's fighting another guy, of his caliber, but no, I would say it's fair to say we never want him fighting.
He got a lot of Draisaitl tonight, both in this face-off dot, 5-on-5. You talked about last year that wasn't a situation you would have felt comfortable with. Does that show you the evolution of his game, that you're pretty comfortable? He was out against 29 quite a bit tonight.
Yeah, you know what? He's shown me in his own zone that he can check, he can do it, when he wants to. He can bear down and do it. And I asked him to check a little more tonight. But you still got to let him make plays. And he's going to turn pucks over. And every coach will get frustrated when you turn him over. But at the end of the day, he makes so many good plays. You got to allow him some freedom. You'd be lying if you say you give everyone the same freedom. If Timmy tries a guy at the blue line 10 times, he probably beats him 7. So you're going to give him a little more real estate. But he's playing with passion and emotion. We've got a real good player.
You don't want to see him fighting, but does it speak to courage and his character?
Well, his character, and you can see. He loves the boys. He was doing what he had to in that situation. But let's be clear, if we're playing that team tomorrow, he won't be the guy fighting that guy.
Do you like how Murray Bonner got through being the first goal in the best?
Well, say what you want. You give a breakaway to the best scorer in the world. So Murray made every save possible. Looks so confident. That's a goal scorer's goal. How many guys come down the wing and shoot a 5-hole? Not a lot. So Murray gave us every chance to win.
And just one more for me. Just to start 3-on-3, Shabbat was out there, and at the last second, Artem Zub came in to replace him. Can you just walk us through that mindset there? Because usually Shabbat starts.
Yeah, well, I think you see 97 come out, and you could go one way or the other, try and outscore him, or try and live off his turnover maybe. And I thought Nick Paulin for me with his speed could do that, and Zuby's our best defender. So with the ability to make plays, and then I was coming with Timmy and Tkachuk next, who Shabby regularly plays with, so that made more sense.
DJ, nice to see a few at least warm bodies in the building, in the stands, and how much do you think it'll mean to your guys when you can get thousands in the building and not just a few hundred?
Well, it'll be huge. When you score, especially late, you get the other team, feeling the heat. Right now, all we've got tonight was great. Even a few fans was exciting, and in our way, all right now we've got is the horn. Like we're going into New York tomorrow, where it's going to be loud and they're going to be screaming, and our guys have never played there. It's an all-new element, and we want, as we continue to get better, to make this a hard place to play.
DJ, you never really, at the beginning of the season, had any doubts in Murray, but there was a lot of questions that might have suggested that. What has he really shown in these last couple weeks about his role on this team?
I'll tell you got to give him a lot of credit. When he came into the start of the year, would he ever thought, that he'd go through waivers, end up in the minors, and a lot of guys could take their ball and go home, and kind of turn your mind to us. He didn't. He went to work, never complained, came back, and has brought a brand new attitude. and you know, his own personal confidence. And he plays like this. This is the goalie, you know, that we signed.